Happy Sunday. Take number 25. We are back with another book review of not even the Headhunters, just Headhunters. Headhunters by Joe Nesbo. This was published in 2008. It is a thriller mystery. It spawned a Norwegian movie that came out in 2011. It's based on the book. It starred Askell Heaney and Nicolaj Coster, who played Jaime Lannister in the Game of Thrones series. And so this is actually on Prime right now, currently. You can, if you have Prime, you can download it for free. It got a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't know if that means anything. I'm not a big movie buff, but just throwing it out there. The summary of this book really is around Roger Brown. He is a corporate headhunter, talent finder out of Norway, and he supposedly is one of the best headhunters for a firm that's called Alpha. He also likes expensive things, art, clothes, women, automobiles, and he reminds himself that he's the best a lot. And so I think he comes from a very narcissistic kind of personality. He also has a dark side, though. He uses his position as a headhunter in his firm to also gain knowledge about various corporate leaders and CEOs and the art that they may have in their personal homes, and he likes to gain entry and take that art from them. And so his wife, Diana, also owns an art studio, and she doesn't really know Roger's alternative persona in life, or does she? And one day, Roger meets a gentleman named Claus Grieve, who is a primary candidate for a position that his firm is trying to find and fill. And lo and behold, Claus is not who he says he is. And once Claus gets an interview with Roger, Roger's life turns upside down, and he has to rely on all of his talents to avoid his demise. And so that's kind of the summary of the story. It's a really interesting thriller, a quick read, a 300-page book. I really liked the fictional insights into the talent acquisition part of it. Being a business professional myself, I think that's very interesting. I also liked Roger's alternative ego. I think it made for a very dynamic character. Diana Roger's wife, was kind of one-sided, but at the same time, she's not. And there's a lot more to her. The Dutchman, Claus Grieve, he's a very cunning, cool individual, but he has a very scarred past, and he has his own plans when it comes to Roger, and you can tell that they're going to butt heads, and the main part of the conflict of the book is around the two of them going toe-to-toe. It felt almost like a caper thriller towards the end, and I definitely think it picks up as the book progresses. The pace was pretty good. It's not what I would call fast, but it's very consistent and quick. It really kept moving along. I enjoyed hearing about the art. They talk about a painting that Claus came about through acquisition of a home that belonged in his family, and lo and behold, behind a wall, he found this very famous painting by Peter Paul Rubens, the Caledonian Boar Hunt, and it obviously sparks interest in Roger when he's talking about that, when they're doing the interviewing and work through his firm. And so it's very interesting. Some of the dislikes I had for this, it started a tad slow, I'd have to say. After you get past the first 4 chapters, it really picks up. But I think this week has been that's been a theme for me in books and short stories this week, is they start slow and then they really pick up and really turn good. I think the only exception this week has been the novel Run, but it's also pretty far-fetched, I think, when it comes to Roger and his delusions of grandeur and being very narcissistic, but some of the things he overcomes is very far-fetched. I will have to say there's one particular situation revolving kind of an outhouse, and I'm not going to spoil it, but that part was pretty gruesome and very far-fetched in my opinion, but it is what it is. In terms of rating, I gave this a 4.2 out of 5. It was a very fun read. There's definitely parts in here that I didn't jive with, but it still didn't really detract from the overall enjoyment because it's a quick read. And so that is my take. Headhunters by Joe Nesbo. I give it 4.2 out of 5. And I hope you're having a great Sunday. Later, my weekly wrap-up will be forthcoming. So be on the lookout for that, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.